Hey friend, have you ever noticed when you're experiencing anxiety that you get racing thoughts and kind of thoughts in a loop that just seem to go around and around and you just can't shut your brain off? Why is that? I'm Josh Spurlock, a licensed Christian counselor, here to answer your questions about faith and neuroscience and mental health. And today we're going to look at this racing thoughts that happen and understand what's going on inside your brain and your body that causes this. So the first thing you need to understand is that your body is trying to help you. Like it is in a protective mode where it has sensed some sort of a threat and it's triggered the alarm. And that alarm, that threat alarm that you experience as anxiety, we feel it in our body and we feel it in our racing thoughts. And so when we view it through the lens of a protective response, some of the different things our body does and our brain does start to make more sense. So let's have a look at the brain real quick. So when we have an anxiety response, this part of our brain, the amygdala, the threat center, hits the panic button, which releases norepinephrine and cortisol and adrenaline into our body's system. And some of the things that it does is it speeds up the rate at which our brain is thinking. And it does that in order to process data faster because in a life or death threatening situation, you got to be able to process a lot of information really fast. It could be a matter of life or death. And so the brain is trying to help you by turning the dial up on its processing power in order to make it able to get the information and connect all the dots and protect you from any potential threats that are happening. And so at the same time, this front part of your brain is the higher the anxiety goes, the less this front part of our brain, the prefrontal cortex, works. The brain moves resources away from this front part of our brain, which is the part of our brain that helps to regulate and filter our thoughts. And so our brain's ability to filter and regulate thoughts is decreasing while the speed of our brain connecting dots and processing information is increasing. And so there's this dual happening of the brakes getting less available to us and the accelerator getting pressed harder inside of our brain. And so you feel this as the thoughts just seem to get faster and faster. And because oftentimes the thing that's triggering our anxiety, the potential threat, isn't a physical one outside of us, there's not a clear resolution to it. You know, if we were running away from an animal that jumped out of the woods, then we could get to safety and see that we're safe and go, ah. But when the anxiety is being triggered about a future event or something that is intangible in our life, then there's no clear resolution to it. And so our brain in its threat assessment in trying to evaluate all the different things that could go wrong in order to keep us safe can just get stuck in a loop of cycling and cycling and cycling. And that creates this crazy making experience that we have of the racing thoughts and the circling around the bush again and again with rumination that, is a little crazy making. But oddly, it's actually your brain trying to help you. So now you know where the racing thoughts and rumination comes from. Thanks for hanging out with me, watching this video. If you've got questions, leave them in the comments. We'll make some more videos. And until next time, I want you to know that I'm praying for you and that I'm cheering you on as you mature into true happiness.